All right, good morning. If you'd please silence your cell phones. Yes. And let's see. The invocation will be offered by Pastor Mark Chase from Christ the Victor Church in Santan Valley. And be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance with Supervisor Surdy. Those that wish to participate, please stand.
Let us pray. Good and gracious Father in heaven, we come before you today thanking you for the opportunity to assemble and serve. We lift up this meeting of the Board of Supervisors, asking for your wisdom, guidance, and peace to be present in every discussion and decision, especially during the call to the public. We pray specifically for the supervisors you have called to lead this moment, Lord, for Chairman Jeffrey McClure, for Rich Vitilio, for Mike Goodman, Stephen Miller, and Jeff Surdy. Grant them clarity of mind, compassion and leadership, and strength to carry out the responsibilities entrusted to them. Bless their families, their work, and their commitment to this community. Lord, help them to lead with integrity and humility. May their decisions reflect justice and fairness, allowing the citizens of our country to work toward the American dream. We ask your blessing on everyone gathered here today. Guide this meeting and let all that is done here bring honor to you. We pray this in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Would you please join me for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Pinal County Board of Supervisors, February 4, 2026, regular meeting. We are in order. And first item is executive session. And I would ask for a motion to recess the regular session of the Board of Supervisors and convene the executive session.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. We're in executive session. Back in a few. Supervisors.
So moved.
Motion. And I have a second for Mr. Vidiello. So motion and second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. We are in regular session. Item 2 is County Manager's Report. Mr. Liu.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairman and members of the public. Just have a couple of show and tell items this morning.
Did you bring your puppy?
I wish.
Okay.
That would have been funner and better than what I am going to show. I know there were some inquiries as to where the public can find information on infectious diseases in the county. And so I just wanted to show on the website what resources the Public Health Department does have there on the website and where to go, how to get there. So this is Public Health's webpage, the front page of their webpage, which you can get to by the county's homepage. If you just go to departments and pick Public Health, this webpage will show up. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see just a real simple, quick dashboard of the current season for these illnesses and what the reported cases are in the county. And it shows there it was last updated just 6-7 days ago. And then these statewide data links are really helpful, and I'm going to click one here so you can see what their dashboard looks like. And what's interesting about their dashboard is you can also not only pick the season and see the last 5-6 years, but also to pick what counties you would like to see individually or combined if you want to do it regionally. Or right now, all of them are selected, so this is statewide. And they have different views of them that you can click on: emergency department visits, by respiratory illnesses, MMWR. So there's a few different ways you can look at this on the state's website. And then going back to Public Health's homepage, if you hit this View Dashboard, there's a lot of information that comes from our Community Health Needs Assessment and Improvement Plan, the CHA and CHIP. And so there's multiple reports you can see, but the one specifically that goes into detail on infectious diseases is there also. And if you click onto that, not only do you see details about those particular diseases, but also historic cases regarding flu, measles, COVID-19, et cetera. So that can be seen in more detail there. All that is accessible, and then if there are further detailed questions, our Public Health Department can help to answer those if anybody wants to reach out and connect with them. Thank you, Chairman, for that. And then next, and I know, Chairman, you had mentioned this in a previous district update about the 5G broadband towers and our network that went up. We did create a video from the groundbreaking that's really informative. And then I also wanted to just make sure, I thank Tammy Ryle and Peter Lynn, who really spearheaded this project, but also wanted to make sure to thank Heather Patel because, Chairman, as you mentioned, this was funded federally through ARPA funds and through some allocations. And Heather has really been the head administrator of ARPA funds that has done a lot of good in this county, and it takes a lot of work to not only strategically allot those, but also to make sure we're compliant and administer them as they're executed over multiple years. So thank you to Heather Patel for that.
We need a test pattern with the American flag waving here.
It's becoming increasingly difficult to get anything accomplished nowadays without connectivity.
Technology is something that is just coming at us faster and faster all the time. We've been living with it for years, but now every day something new comes up. And if you're not involved with technology, you are behind the times. If you don't have access to the internet, you are terribly disadvantaged.
Rural and isolated students aren't able to access or have the same experience that students in other areas can, and we believe that just because you're in a rural, small area doesn't mean that you don't deserve all of the same access and opportunity as those in a more populated area.
32 towers are at a school or county-owned property, a library. Arizona City Library has one. Here we are at Toltec Elementary. I know we have some going at Oracle. The city of Mammoth, they have a unique situation. They don't have good internet. I mean, if you go to Mammoth, you can't even talk on the city's cell phone. There's just no access at all. And we have difficulty with the emergency services up there, too. Fire and sheriff's office have difficulty, but this will help them be able to communicate better as well.
All of our curriculums have an online component, so that's a factor, and especially when we're dealing with state testing that is coming up. We had to alternate days of when students could test because we didn't have enough bandwidth. So this is going to be wonderful for that.
We had ARPA funds that were available to us from the federal government, and Jill Broussard at the Pinal County Schools had already started a 312-mile fiber optic network to connect libraries and schools. When we piggybacked on that, we were able to access not only that, but also increase it with the towers and really make a great connection.
It works out really well when we have these outside of schools because our schools are using a lot of broadband during the day, and our libraries too.
Kids are on computers. They don't have paper. They do everything online. Even when they upload their homework, it's online. You do everything on the computer.
I was really surprised to see so many people here supporting this project. There were so many people here that knew what was happening and were supportive of what we were doing and could really see the benefit and the change, the positive change that we're trying to make in the community.
That's all. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. Item number 3 is the supervisor district updates. I would start with Supervisor Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This update is not much going on in District 3, so I have a better update when we get to the legislative policy with CSA.
Okay, then
Nothing on my district.
moving along, Supervisor Goodman.
Okay, thank you, Chair. First of all, we attended Paladin. Paladin they did a gala for a fundraiser. Close to $64,000 was raised. They're probably they are the largest youth organization in our community in the Santan Valley area. With sports and things of that nature. And they've been running that for 15, 18 years, I think, is the amount of time that they've been doing it. And they've got roughly about 6,000 young men and young women that participate in all the different sporting activities. And so this was a big deal for them, and it's always been a big deal. This is a way that they are able to raise funds to help those youth and those kids through the sporting program. Then the Santan Valley Council officially moved into the county complex there, or leasing that from us. And so our office has been extremely busy working with the new town in that transitional period. And we've had a lot of our staff come and meet with the town council and meet with their new town manager, talking about projects and things that are going on right now. I myself, which I enjoy to do, is to get them in the truck and drive them around and show them all the different roads improvements and the improvements that are coming down the road, down the path, and things that we've been planning, and then the different commercial and the growth that's happening there. And so that's been a lot of my time and effort spent helping our new council and help share the love now, right? So that's been exciting. We recently had a breakfast this last Friday that we do on a by or every other month basis for our community, is what it's called. It was very well attended. We hosted the town council to actually for people to meet and get to know what their views and what their understanding. The new town manager was part of that. And with that, I'd like to make an announcement that on February 25th, from 6 to 8 p.m., they're doing an open house at the CAC College there in Santan Valley, that campus. And it'll be geared around getting community input on various things that they would like to see, the community and the involvement. They're going to be talking about it'll be an opportunity for people to meet the town council, the town manager, and the staff there. And then they'll have breakout sessions that will be on topics like finance and budgets, road and streets, emergency services, and general government. And they are also in the process of putting together a community or a town advisory council. And so those people that are interested, this would be a good opportunity for those people that are living within the Santan Valley community to come and participate in that as well. So other than that, I love everybody.
Nothing going on?
No, nothing else. We're good.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Vitiello.
Thank you, Chairman. I guess we'll start with rolling the video of some road work that our wonderful Public Works has been doing throughout the county, and this is a specific spot in unincorporated Santan Valley that I am so happy that they did this. So, please, Natasha.
That quarter-mile stretch was the entire reason for this project. This is the average place that we're on. This is the Santan area. just outside the new incorporation. The request came in from the TAC program from one of the residents on this road. After evaluating it, we thought it was a good candidate. We got here and we noticed there was additional 6 miles of road that we grade. Why not make it an overall project and help this community out in this area? And on top of that, we added another additional 4.5 miles to make an overall project over 11.5 miles just in this little area.
Kenny and the crew came out and not only just did the quarter mile that was originally suggested, they went and did much more than that.
We pulled 4 of our maintenance yards and brought them to the project. And we actually completed this project in 3 weeks. That's from building the roads start to finish to where we're standing now.
This is absolutely amazing to see how much was done in such a short period of time.
This road right here was existing road. It was already one of the roads that were chip sealed in the previous years. So we decided to come through, we cleaned it, we had patching done, widened the shoulders, and then we sealed over it. This will give the life expectancy 10 more years on top of what was existing here.
When it rains really bad out here, it gets flooded out, and the residents may not even be able to get out of here.
This wash crossing we're actually going through now was the reason for the safety concern. The community up here couldn't get out when it was raining.
And it would have ended right here if you only would have done it.
Yes, it would have ended
That's the
right
amazing
there.
part. Yeah, this big dip that we're coming up to here, could you imagine this being full? It's definitely a safety issue that has been solved. I also noticed that back over there we saw some newer signs. Will a lot of these signs get changed eventually?
We actually have an in-house sign shop. They are coming out here and they're going to replace all the signs, bring them up to spec, and go through and add the proper signage for the roads that are added. So now these roads, they used to say not maintained, dirt road ahead, pavement ends. Now they're going to come through and remove those. They'll put the proper stop signs, street name signs for 911 purposes. They'll come through and bring everything up to the county spec and the height. Because now that we raised the road, the signs had to be raised to meet the specification.
I can only tell you that out in some other areas that I go drive through that are dirt roads, the air quality has definitely got to be a huge issue.
A lot of these projects come because I live on this road and the maintenance of it is hard on my cars, hard on my life, the aspect of dust. Just not being able to breathe, see, just to keep moisture in the ground out here and water and grading it is a hassle itself. One day later after maintenance, the whole road is dust, powdery. So with this product, ARDP helps eliminate that. Almost stops it.
It's a public safety thing, but it's also health and wellness and quality of life.
I want people to know that we are acting as quickly as possible. You got to remember, the county is the size of Connecticut. To actually come out and pave these roads, it costs a lot of money without raising your taxes.
This project right here is just under $750,000, and that is including signs to road, to maintenance, to our equipment, to our guys. A mile of road, you're looking at $1 million a mile. So with our in-house crew capable of doing this themselves and help out with our contractor to come and do the asphalt, it saves taxpayer dollars and gives you a final product that lasts such a long time.
So as you heard Kenny say, and again, I thank Public Works for doing all this, $11 million a mile. So he did 11 miles for $750,000. That contributes to making sure that we do not raise taxes. This stuff that's being done in-house is the most important, especially in all the unincorporated areas. And then the reaction time is amazing from the staff. They literally, yesterday, I visited some areas out in Hidden Valley Thunderbird Farms. They've already made the phone calls and arranging to figure out how to fix some of the roads that are out there. And I really do want to thank the whole team. Again, I've always said one team, one goal. I can't do my job without them. And they sure as heck make me look good in District 1, and I hope throughout Pinal County. So always looking for ways to save money, but serve the public consistently. A few things that I had going on. I got invited to Mike Night in Province in the city of Maricopa, where we had about 7 or 8 acts where they were singing, and it was we had Guido Sarducci there. So a good friend of mine put on a Guido Sarducci act, and it was just nice to see about 200 people show up. It was awesome. So I really do appreciate the fact that I'm getting invited to these things out there. Again. I was invited to the AZ County Engineers Association meeting to speak. And this was a bunch of ladies and gentlemen who do our engineering for our roads in our counties, I should say. And it was held over at Ak-Chin. And I was honored to be asked to come and speak there, so that was a great thing. Another one that I was asked to be the Speaker of the House for a mock debate for the women of Maricopa. We had about 50 women who went up to the Capitol last week, and they did a mock debate, and it was pretty awesome Teresa Martinez, our state representative, and Representative Anna Marie Knorr from the city of Maricopa. She's the city councilman. Put this on, and they asked me to sit in the speaker's chair. No, thank you. It was fine doing a mock one, but I'll never want to sit there again as the actual speaker. Also, tonight we'll have a dinner with the Central Arizona Project, and then the sheriff invited me to come out to the jail, and I didn't waste any time. He asked me, and I was out there the next day. It all stemmed from a Netflix video called Unlocked. If you want to watch something that is absolutely amazing, that our jail and our sheriff's, the sheriff's department, and the people that work in this jail, I got to tell you something. I thought it was a great program. If you watch season 1 and then you watch season 2, we are blessed to have a county jail that treats people like human beings. They had told me personally, because I sat with many of these unfortunate ones, and they told me they've been in and out of jails throughout the state, throughout the country, and they treat them with the most respect. That is super important, okay? They ask questions. I was talking to them for close to 2 hours. I met with about 12. This particular time, I met with 12 women. Next time, I'm going back to speak with people who actually were in Unlocked. And again, if you watch season 1, which is from another state and county, and then you watch season 2, which is our county, you will be absolutely amazed the difference between the two. Or if you want to watch us first, you won't get through the season 1, I can tell you that. But anyway, what I'm getting at is the sheriff's department and, again, the staff at the jail do an absolutely great job. God bless them for the work that they do, the unappreciated work that they do, and we need to keep them safe. And there's other things that will come up about the jail in the future. But again, thank you, Sheriff Teeple. Thank you to your whole entire staff and deputies who do, like I said, a job that is just very difficult. And I got to tell you something. I sat in that jail and talked with these people. I felt completely safe, because they don't treat them like animals. They treat them like people and human beings. So thank you, Sheriff. I'm going to go back as many years as I possibly can to thank all sheriffs who treat people like human beings. And thanks again. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Vitiello. And by the way, you look good in a Public Works cap and T-shirt and vest. That's very nice.
I had a beg for that.
Supervisor Surtee.
The Pinal County at Work is now at the AJ Library. Anybody looking for employment, long-term or short-term, stop by the library and they can possibly find you someplace to work. We have had the mildest winter in my 40 years of being an Arizona resident. And with the rains that we had not long ago, we have a terrible weed problem that a lot of people aren't aware of yet. You need to find out what stinknet/globe chamomile is. Go do an inspection of your yard, your neighbor's yards. Get this stuff eradicated before those little yellow balls spread, or it's going to be even worse. So, and the county's looking into grants to fight it along the county roadways and area and right-of-ways, but we need to do our part on private property also. Coming up, we're right in the time of year when Pinal County, especially District 5, is such a cool place to live and visit, with Apache Junction having the Lost Dutchman Days at the end of the month. The Lost Dutchman Marathon is in 2 weeks. The Renaissance Festival going on right now. Plus, it's just an awesome time to go hiking to our parks. Several of our districts have parks. Get out there and use it now before it gets too hot. And then Pinal Public Works, they are awesome. We had a problem in Queen Valley not long ago with this terrible rain that we had. And a lot of the residents were disappointed that we didn't get on something quicker. But we had to make sure the rain was over and we were ready. And we have a video from what they did in Queen Valley as well.
In October of 2025, a huge monsoon storm came through the Queen Valley area and dropped 5 inches of rain in a 45-minute span. That amount of rainfall happening that quickly caused flooding. Several homes were damaged, as well as Silver King Road. That flooding washed out 480 feet of shoulder. It also created a 6-foot drop and damaged the base of the road. Because of this damage, Pinal County Public Works decided to close Silver King Road. Our AJ maintenance crew is working to repair Silver King. They're using a loader to bring material from the riverbed and use that to fill in the damage of the shoulder. Once that work is done, we should be able to open the road back up, and then in a couple weeks our pavement maintenance crew will come in and they'll put a layer of asphalt over the road. Now this work is being funded through regular county maintenance dollars. We'd like to express our gratitude to the residents of Queen Valley. We understand that this has not been a fast or an easy process, and we'd like to thank them for their patience. Please understand that public safety is our #1 priority, and the first part of public safety is having resident cooperation, and we would like to thank the residents out here for that cooperation.
Thank you.
All right, my turn. Let's see. We have this Friday, February 6th, in the 11-mile corner area. We've got a BOPA, battery, oil, paint, antifreeze, also tires and appliances, water heaters, paper shredding available. So an event out there, free to the public. If you've got a bunch of that stuff just laying around on your driveway, bring it on out. Don't throw it in the desert. It's at the Pinal Maintenance Yard right behind Animal Control on 11-mile corner. Also, Santan Valley has a logo design contest going on. There's a $2,500 prize. If you are a citizen of the incorporated area of Santan Valley, you're welcome to apply to that. It's on the Town of Santan Valley website. This last week, I had the privilege of going out to Saddlebrook, and every year we do a State of the County. I bring somewhere between 8 and 10 different department heads out to showcase what the county does, because everybody says, you know, you're the government, one box. It's actually a whole bunch of different layers, a whole bunch of different pieces, kind of like a Rubik's Cube. It just keeps shifting around, you know. So we just bring it out to explain to people what different departments do and try to showcase different areas. And we have a video, another video. Should have brought popcorn. Go ahead. Or not. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. We're at Saddlebrook Desert View Theater today, doing a State of the County. We bring out the different departments and let them showcase what they do in the county, and let the audience know that, you know, it's more than just this one person or this box that we call government. It's all these different levels.
This is a great opportunity to present information to the public and get immediate feedback from them. They can ask whatever questions they have, and we are here to immediately answer those.
Oh yeah, it's imperative, especially for the Sheriff's Office, because it gives them an understanding of our internal operations. It gives them a broader understanding of how the county operates. I mean, they're taxpayers. They need to know where their taxpayer money is going and what it's funding.
The people that come to these talk to their neighbors, talk to their friends, tell them what's going on, and we try to make it so that the individuals can know that if you have an issue, call my office, call one of these other offices. One of my biggest jobs is to steer people in the right direction.
Today I talked about what public health does. A lot of people don't know all the things that public health does. We don't just do immunizations, we do restaurant inspections, we do mosquitoes, we do community health, we do things all throughout the community.
Over the past year, I would say, you know, the incorporation of Santan Valley is huge. We're working right now on drafting an IGA and developing services and what that's going to look like with the future moving forward. You know, whether they decide to stay on contract with us is a very real possibility, and we have to work towards that contract. And the services provided to not only the city of Santan now, but the population and the citizens of Pinal County.
As long as I'm in office, we'll continue to do this because we want to bring government to you. We want to show you what happens in the day-to-day lives of the government. Thank you all for showing up today. I truly appreciate your involvement. Thank you. All right. Next up is item number 4 is the update regarding the 2026 Arizona State Legislative Session. Supervisor Miller, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Real quick, of course, the Legislative Policy Committee that I sit on is all 15 counties are represented by an individual from their county supervisors, and we debate and discuss the latest legislation that's going through the legislature that affects counties. So it was kind of interesting. Was one that I was on the losing vote that I want to bring up, though, because I think it's interesting. It has to do with whether public notices can be put online. And I think after listening to all the other counties and some of the challenges that they have, they're talking about, almost moving at 100% to online, which I don't think is a good idea. They did put in here a may put it online. There needs to be some more discussion because I think there's room for both. And I voted no as written because I want to make sure that they do implement something online, but also maintain the printed notifications, because there's still lots of areas, I think, in Arizona that print may be the only way they get it. I mean, we heard earlier on our cell towers and how we're trying to reach out as far as we can. But anyway, it's 1167. It's something to kind of watch and see what happens there. There were several legislative proposals or numbers that came forward. They keep trying to split up Maricopa County and make it either 2 counties or 4 counties or some other kind of combination. I know it was floating around last year. I don't see it really going very far because of just the pure cost to take and split a county and what it would cost the taxpayers. And I guarantee it would cost all the taxpayers in the state of Arizona, just not Maricopa County. So we opposed all those. Another one is that's out there, which is a HCR, that is a ballot measure that'll go, and I think maybe our recorder might opine on this a little bit more in detail, but it's the debate as to whether or not to have voting centers or precinct voting and that whole thing. And I don't know, the legislature wants to control so many things that really bothers me. And another one was that we've opposed, but we opposed it not on the grounds of it has to do with nuclear energy, energy being created by a nuclear mechanism. It's interesting, though, what they're really trying to do is tell us where we can build those. And I don't know why the legislature wants to keep getting into the planning and zoning business, but a lot of this stuff is tied to telling us where and when we can do this stuff. So just kind of be aware of that and reach out to your local legislators if you have concerns on the votes. I think it's really important. Another one to watch is some legislation on corporations buying large lots of homes and then turning them into Airbnbs or renting them out at enormous prices. So there's an effort to try and get a handle on that. I was given an interesting stat that is kind of shocking, and this has to go to the Airbnbs, that only 40% of Sedona have local residents living in them, in the residential homes. 60% of them are Airbnbs. So that has a real dynamic on how things are done in a community and trying to control it. So anyway, Ms. Natasha has put this report or this summary on the agenda. So if you want to go and read these in more detail, certainly go on there and click on it. And if you have questions and you want to talk to me about it, I'm happy to reach out to me, and I'm glad to discuss it with you in more detail. And I should have brought this up in the last agenda item. For those that want to see the other job I have, which is the CAP board. We're holding our CAP board in Pinal County tomorrow. It'll be at the Maricopa campus, Maricopa CAC campus, and it's not a lot of good news about the river. Not only the discussions, because there won't be much about the discussions with all 7 of the basins, but this is the worst snow year I think we've ever had. There is no water going to come off the western range of Colorado this year, and so anyway, I know rains give us problem, and rain doesn't help our issue. We need snow. We need lots of snow in the mountains of the Rockies, and so if you'll just pray for that, I'll be happy. But anyway, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, CAC meeting at the Maricopa CAC campus. Thank you.
Thank you, and I see Ms. Lewis skulking up to the left.
Good morning, Chairman McClure, members of the board, Dana Lewis, Pinal County Recorder. But I present information today based on my position as first Vice President of the Arizona Association of Counties. The Arizona 2026 57th Legislative Second Regular Session convened on January 12th, and it is on its 24th day. We have had a total of 1,826 bills introduced as of this morning, 996 at the House, 830 at the Senate, and 133 memorials or resolutions. One has been transmitted to the governor and has been vetoed. The session is expected to run for approximately 100 days with a heavy focus on affordability, housing, and budgetary issues in a year where all legislative seats, top state offices, and congressional districts are up for election. Major legislation changes to note that are affecting us right now in real time. HB 2022 is set to move the primary election date up. It moved across the House 56 to 0. This Senate mirror bill, which is SB 1425, will be heard this afternoon, and I will be present to testify. The primary election being moved up 2 weeks from August 4th to July 21st does affect obviously people running for office this year. If they've already completed petition forms, that old date on those forms will be protected. However, that filing window will be moved up to February 21st through March 23rd. Some of the things to be watching for: budget and taxes. With a fragile budget expected due to economic conditions, negotiations are focusing on affordability and potential tax code alignment and federal regulations. Water, environmental, and sustainable building. Lawmakers are addressing water management, including proposed significant updates to gasoline formulation standards and adaptive reuse of school buildings. Elections and recording, proposing of no foreign money in any realm of the election world, equipment and campaign and PACs. Friday early ballot cutoffs, which we've been supportive of, and my new favorite one, which is SB 1069, where new parties may not call themselves anything like independent, other, or no labels, Arizona Independent. Preventative actions for property deed fraud, we're actually really getting ahead of this and hoping to assure some deterrence. And then, like was previously noted, short-term rentals. Something new that we hadn't really seen in the past as aggressively as this session would be the monitoring safety for group homes, foster home regulations, behavioral health funding, and memory care regulations. Questions about current legislation, if you have any question about signing up for RTS, or if you as a voter in Pinal County can reach out to, of course, Mr. Miller because of his position with CSA, mine with ACO. Just email us at recorder@pinal.gov and we'll get back to you. We'd love to hear your opinion on any upcoming legislation or where we're at. And mornings on Wednesdays, you see me here. In the afternoons, you see me there. Any questions, gentlemen?
No questions. Thank you, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Item number 5, discussion disapproval of a proclamation recognizing January 2026 as National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month and affirming Pinal County's ongoing commitment to Not in Our County. Supervisor Goodman, you are apparently the presenter on this.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
A presenter on this. 'Cause I have enough.
We've got two other individuals here that I'm going to ask them to come forward here in a minute. We have Pastor Mike Gowans with Bethel Church, and then also Joe Grossman. Both of them are representing Not in Our City and a Night of Hope. This is the two organizations that they represent. This is something that Joe had called me back about a week and a half ago and asked me to see if we couldn't get it on the agenda, and I appreciate the opportunity. If you two gentlemen would like to come forward, Mike, if you'd be willing to speak a little bit to it, that'd be great before we take a vote on it.
Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate the opportunity. It was about 10 years ago that my wife and I, we were building a safe house in Nepal for women and children fighting on the border of India and Nepal, and this subject of sex trafficking. And after that, we were made aware of the problem we had here in our country, in our state and city, and met with some detectives in Phoenix and Chandler. Once you see something, you can't unsee it. And I was ignorant before that, and then it was, well, what do I do about this now that you see it? And the law enforcement, I found out, are overwhelmed. They don't have the infrastructure or the personnel to fight against. They're asking for help, and so we started an event called Night of Hope, where we had gotten churches and elected officials and frontline organizations that are dealing with preventing, also rehabbing victims, and so we've done this event now this will be Night of Hope 8. We've seen hundreds of people rescued. Thousands of arrests have happened. We've partnered and supported law enforcement, gotten people hired, and federal funds released into our state against this fight. And so not in our city, and hopefully now not in our county. You'd be the first county. Two of the cities here, Apache Junction and Santan Valley, have signed the proclamation, and it's. I think it matters in bringing light to a darkness. The light exposes the darkness and drives it out, and we got to just keep fighting this. And none of us, wants this evil amongst us, and so we're just continuing to try to shine the light on some darkness and bring awareness. Again, we've had close to 15,000 people over the last 7 years participate in the event. It's a night of hope into a very dark situation, but I believe that these proclamations are having an impact. So that is what I would just ask that you consider, making this proclamation for your county. Joe, I don't know if you want to. Sure.
Just want to say thank you. And broadly, I think it's a statement, right? It's more than just words. We know this is happening within our communities. We've seen more than 30, I think roughly 30 cities within Arizona take this proclamation. And so what you're doing here is more than paper. You're taking a stand to say, not in our county. And this is the first county doing that, which it's an honor to be here to be a part of that. We fill in the gap from the prayer perspective. We bring the faith community. We pray over the victims. We step in the gap, bring awareness. And this is one of the initiatives that came out of that. There's other things that the organization does on a day-to-day basis, but this is an important one, and I'm thankful for you guys taking this under consideration, Chairman. And Mike, thank you, or Supervisor Goodman, for bringing this up. We appreciate you guys very much, and are happy to stand in unity on this important cause.
Thank you. All right, so at this time, we vote on this item. Can I get a motion on item 5 as presented?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the proclamation recognizing January 2026 as National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. And Supervisor Goodman, I believe you're reading the proclamation? Or no.
If I could get Joe or Mike, if they'd be willing to read that. They read better than I do.
Well, Pastor has glasses on, so I figure, you can see me.
All right. By the Pinal County Board of Supervisors proclamation recognizing National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month and affirming ongoing county commitment, not in our county. Whereas January is recognized nationally as the National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month, a time dedicated to raising awareness of human trafficking and strengthening efforts to prevent exploitation and support survivors. And whereas human trafficking is a global crime that impacts millions of people each year, including tens of thousands within the United States. And whereas the state of Arizona ranks among the top states in the nation for reported human trafficking activity, due in part to its geographic location, major transportation corridors, and population growth. And whereas Pinal County's location between major metropolitan areas and along key interstate routes increases vulnerability to both sex and labor trafficking. And whereas human trafficking affects individuals of all ages, genders, races, and demographics, including children and teenagers. And whereas addressing human trafficking requires continued collaboration among law enforcement, schools, faith-based organizations, nonprofit service providers, businesses, healthcare professionals, and government agencies to prevent exploitation, disrupt trafficking networks, and support survivors. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Pinal County Board of Supervisors, the board recognizes January as National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month and reaffirms its ongoing commitment throughout the year to combating human trafficking in Pinal County. Be it further proclaimed that the Pinal County Board of Supervisors declares not in our county. The first one. And urging residents and community partners to remain vigilant and support the efforts of frontline organizations and law enforcement in their efforts to eliminate human trafficking. This proclamation is the 4th day of February 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grossman. Appreciate that. And let's do a picture. Mr. Johnson, I know you're back there someplace with your fancy camera. Let's all go down.
Mishka.
There we go. So you were going to be up front. There we go. All right. This should work much better. I had to trap the anti-ugly filter up. So, we get 3, 2, and we're going to do it again. 3, 2, 1. I wasn't feeling that one. One more. One last one. Ready? This is the big smile. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There we go. But actually, stay right there.
Oh.
And big smiles, guys. 3, 2. We're going to do one more. Stand by. And 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Mr. 30, Nico, greet your canine. Nico, greet your canine. Just trying to be friendly.
After her, though.
Supervisor Goodman, I believe you had something else you needed to say.
Yeah, I would just like to add that I know that our sheriff's department and our law enforcement that we have, and even our county attorney's office, has been very active in coming down on these type of illegal activities that have been taking place. And I just want to express my gratitude to those two offices for what they're doing to help in these unfortunate situations. And so I appreciate everything that they're all doing. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Item number 6, discussion, approval, disapproval of the Purchasing Division report. Ms. Gorman, I see you back there. There you are.
Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Board of Supervisors. Tracy Gorman, Purchasing Manager. And this is the Purchasing Division report for February 4th, 2026. In this report, the Board is requested to approve one contract award for RFP 263531 for temporary healthcare staffing services for 4 different companies. The Board is requested to approve 3 contract amendments to extend contract terms for RFP 240829, maintenance, repair, and operating supplies, including generator maintenance services for 5 different vendors. RFP 1241729, printing and mailing of election materials. RFQ 252230 for in-home alcohol monitoring for 2 different vendors. And lastly, we are seeking approval of 1 cooperative purchase requisition over $250,000. Are there any questions?
Any questions from the board? All right. In that case, may I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the Purchasing Division report dated February 4th, 2026.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none. Thank you, Ms. Gorman. Have a great day. Motion passes. Item number 7 is consent items, A through S. All items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a board member, county manager, or member of the public objects at the time the agenda item is called. I already have item number G being pulled by Supervisor Sturdy. Yes, okay. Any others that the board wishes to pull? Seeing none. County manager? None. Public? Yes. Mr. Item R. Ms. Podasky, did you have another one? No, you're just joining on just because. Well, I have no idea why he went. Okay, thank you. Okay, and with that, are there any others that anyone wishes to pull? Hearing, seeing none, may I get a motion, please, on consent items A through S minus G and R?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve consent items A through S minus
G and R.
G and R.
I even set it out for you.
You did.
Okay, just check it.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's the motion.
Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second? Have a second? Okay, I have a motion and a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Let's start with item G. Supervisor Sturdy.
Yes, I recently had an opening on the Law Enforcement Merit Council, and we are lucky enough to have, as a resident in my district, former Police Chief Kelly, who also worked on the federal level and the local level, and he will be an ideal fit on that board, and want to make a motion to approve him.
And is he here today?
He is here.
He's here. Okay. Would he like to say anything?
I've already made a motion. We have to approve it.
Okay, fine. Details, you know.
Maybe he's
okay,
going to.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Maybe he's going to fail.
Second.
So, yeah.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. And we have. I'm sorry, I'm lost here.
Yep. Tom Kelly.
That's the guy. Tom Kelly. Yeah, you, Tom Kelly.
I'm a man of few words, so I just appreciate the consideration to serve this board. My history in law enforcement goes back to members of the community here that probably weren't born. And started in 1972, retired from Apache Junction in 2022. Served 3 different agencies, Chicago area, and then with the federal services with DEA for 23 years. And finally with the city of Apache Junction. I was only going to be there for 3 years, and 16 years later, it was still there because it had a good government board and a good department and a community that supported and served the law enforcement well. I just honored to be considered for it and assure you that with the oversight of Supervisor Surdy, I'm sure I'll be held to my word to perform as well or as high as I can. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for your past service, and thank you for what you're going to do for the county. Appreciate it.
Does he want a picture?
Picture.
Yeah.
If I'd known there was pictures, I would have dressed up.
Yeah, I can go.
Nice smile. 3, 2, and we'll do it again. 3, 2, 1. Let me double check. Yeah, it's as good as you guys look.
Okay. Now, item R. Mr. Reck, would you like to come up and state your purpose? Or Ms. Podasky, either one.
She's already had 2.
I frequently pull items related to the sheriff. I wanted to pull this one because I think this is a great grant. I'm really enthusiastic about it. I watched Unlocked. I went in kind of hostile. I can be that way. And I came out thinking, wow, this is just impressive. I just wanted to say, I read this supplementary material. I just think that the concept of working for reentry deserves more attention than just being an item on consent agenda. So there.
Thank you. Mr. Reck, did you have a comment?
Noel Reck from Eloy. I share that same feeling. This sounds like a really great program. I just would like some clarification. It says that the grant will be used to support salary and fringe benefits. So I'm just wondering what fringe benefits actually means.
All right. Sure. Sheriff Teeple, did you have a comment?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Pinal County, our Director of Finance is here, and she's going to correct me if I say this wrong, but from fringe benefits for basic explanation is if one of my employees needs to go to training, it would pay for their per diem and their travel expenses and hotel. That's what it's for. We want to make sure that this program is as successful as it possibly can be. It is overwhelming, as Supervisor Vitiello just saw personally. It is overwhelming how many people are in our custody that have substance abuse problems, and we want to get them all of the help that we can, the assistance that we can, so they can become better members of society and better neighbors to you and I.
Okay, thank you. Does that satisfy the request?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Sheriff Teeple. Did you have a comment? No, okay. So for that, could I get a motion, please, on item R?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item R as presented.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have two. Oh, I've got a second over to my left. Okay. Motion and a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. At this time, we are going to recess the Board of Supervisors regular meeting to convene the Pinal County Public Health Services District Board of Directors. May I get a motion, please? Well, I don't need a motion, do I? I can just do it because I'm in charge, right? There you go. Just checking over. I got to make sure. Okay. So, okay. So now we'll open the Public Health Services District meeting. And moving right along, We have consent items A and B. All items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda, unless a board member, county manager, or a member of the public objects at the time the agenda item is called. Are there either one of the items wish to be pulled by the board, county manager, public? Hearing and seeing none, may I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I motion to approve the Pinal County Public Health Services A and B on consent agenda as written.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. I will now adjourn the Public Health Services District Board of Directors meeting and reconvene the Board of Supervisors regular meeting. Like that. Number 9 is call to the public. Call to the public is a time period for members of the public to address the Board of Supervisors to provide public input relating to subject matter within the Board of Supervisors' authority and jurisdiction. Those wishing to address the Board of those wishing to address the Board of Supervisors need not request permission in advance. An action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter or rescheduling it for further consideration and decision at a later time. And I have some cards before me here. I have Elisa Russell. Eliza, I don't know. Elisa.
How are you? Well, first I'm here. I'm going to read something.
And also, would you, for anyone coming up, please state your name and generally where you live. Thank you.
My name is Elisa Russell, and I am a resident of the Pinal County. I want to talk to you guys about the 287. The 287G program is affecting my business and my peace of mind. 50% of my clients are Latinos, people who pay taxes and have contributed to making this country a better place. I have noticed a significant decrease in the number of clients returning to my office. When I ask why, they all give me the same answers. They are unwilling to drive and risk being stopped by an officer. I don't think I need to go over details. We have all seen videos of what happens. The 287G program was implemented without the consent of the board supervisors and must end immediately. I'm surprised that I don't see that on this paper as a follow-up. I know on the first meeting you guys went back and forth if it was legal or illegal to obviously sign it. So I'm trying to see if I can get an update on that. Because of that, I carry my passport. Some of you guys look Latinos like me. Thank you. I have to carry this every morning, every night, because I look Latina and I am Latina. So I'm asking for an update. If I was blonde, blue eyes, I wouldn't have to worry about carrying this, right? That's right. Right? Yeah. So I'm asking to please consider the 287G. It affects everyone. It's affecting my business. I pay taxes. I pay a lot of taxes. Let me tell you that. So I'm trying to move forward. I understand we have to follow law. I understand we have to be nice to each other, but the 287G should not be in our county, in our country in general. So I'm asking for a reply in writing, if possible. When are we getting an update? And what's happening with the board not signing the agreement and obviously still up to date? I mean, we're still working with that, right? So that's what I'm trying to get from you guys. If you guys were at Home Depot, especially the ones looking Latinos like me, probably you guys will be getting stopped by ICE, and we all know that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Russell. No clapping. Okay, Ann Rose.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair McClure and board members, and to everyone present in chambers. My name is Ann Rose Deshave. I live in Oracle. I'm a relatively new resident there, and on the core committee for aging in Oracle, which is a group of concerned citizens there trying to make it less of a healthcare desert. I am an RN, have been for 4 decades, and I served in the military to get started there. I'm a proud first generation American. The reason why I drove from Oracle this morning is because of the 5G project, and we all saw the nice video. But my statement today is for the board, of course, but for everyone here, especially with young children, because the 5G, it's invisible. All of our electromagnetic frequencies, the artificial ones and the natural ones from the sun and the earth, are invisible. So we don't really think about how it may affect us. But I, as an independent patient advocate, do think about things like that because it affects the human biology. And of course, the children are still developing their brains and getting through life. So through the Aging in Oracle project, Mr. McClure, I met Crystal Nairmeyer, the superintendent for the Oracle School District. For the Aging in Oracle, we're going to do a project with the 7th and 8th graders. And then I saw the minor article with the 5G coming to the school. And so my message to everyone is caution with these invisible artificial electromagnetic frequencies because it does affect us. We don't think about the fact that maybe insomnia, a little bit of ringing in the ears or headaches or just a little unease in our nervous systems. Is it what we ate? Is it our exposure to the environment? And as we roll through all the 5G, yeah, we had to spend the COVID money. We had to spend it somehow. But I want us to think about the children because there's a great article about how reading off of the printed page is better than reading off of a screen, especially when it gets more complex. If you're interested, I could leave this article with Ms. Kennedy and for your interests there. We're not going to stop the technology. With the few seconds I have remaining, just educate yourself on 5G. It's not without harm, potentially. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. Michelle Talaveras. I'm sorry, I'm thank you.
Good morning, members of the board, and good morning, Mr. Chairman. My name is Michelle Talavera. I am the proud parent of a special needs child. My daughter attends Anthem K-8 elementary school. She started school there in 2024. Throughout the school year, I attended multiple IEP or special education meetings fiercely, advocating for my child's right to a fair and appropriate public education. I started to notice that she was not receiving the quality of care and education as outlined in Arizona Revised Statute 1602. The Parent Bill of Rights allows parents to direct the upbringing of their child's education. This includes inspecting learning materials in the classroom, observing the classroom, reviewing the curriculum, even opting students out of courses that do not align with their moral or religious core values. Included in the statute, parents have the right to inspect their child's education records. On November 2025, a student seizured alone in his desk while everyone left the room. The school advised his parents they followed proper protocol and procedures. The student could have been seriously hurt had he fallen off his seat and hit his head. When I reported the struggles my daughter experienced at this school, as well as the incident with the student who had the seizuring episode, school district trespassed me from the school under the guise of, quote, public safety concerns. Imagine that. Rather than to work in tandem with parents to foster trusting partnerships, parents are being ambushed by school attorneys and silenced. I implore you to please partner with us, parents, to prohibit the schools and other schools in the county from deploying these types of reprisals to parents who are simply advocating for their children and exercising inalienable and fundamental educational rights. We need more oversight of all our county schools, as well as the enforcement of the laws to the letter. The current policies that are in place send a chilling effect to parents who wish to continue to advocate for their children and their learning environment. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Talavera. Karen Oliver.
Good morning. My name is Karen Oliver. I am going to be reading a statement from my friend, Kristen Rodriguez, leader of the Lighthouse Group, who resides in Gold Canyon. This is her statement. I work during the day, so I'm unable to attend your meetings in person. I want to start by thanking the board for voting to move forward with civil action against Attorney Brad Miller. I have friends who live in Maricopa County who don't feel safe coming to visit me in Pinal because they fear Kavanaugh stops. When I heard about Attorney Miller's initial agreement with ICE and how he didn't care what Attorney General Chris Mays thought, I was bothered. Then I heard of a Pinal supervisor at a town council meeting shortly after his announcement, ensuring that the town council that they were supported and told not to let the state push back on them. This made me think that there was a political agenda fueled by hate, not concern for the people of our county. Brad Miller's actions show he doesn't care about the safety of law enforcement or community members. During this time, Pinal County felt like it was lawless under the guise of backing the blue. Last week, I met a construction worker in Queen Creek who told me the roofing contract for his work site was canceled because so many workers were kidnapped while working. This is appalling. I've not heard the Arizona Sheriff's Association, Sheriff Teeple, or Brad Miller address the issues of the growing community distrust, fear of law enforcement, or the danger placed on well-intentioned, hardworking police officers during the ICE overreach. Instead, Sheriff Teeple appeared to adopt a trolling attitude toward his constituents. I want to remind him that this is a serious situation and not a game. Arizona is a border state that needs serious professional law enforcement. ICE's lack of training and basic humanity is an insult to the well-trained officers who show their faces and put on their uniforms every day. Brad Miller stated he would apply the laws equally and fairly to all, while subverting the Board of Supervisors' authority and breaking the law himself. I appreciate the board's action last Friday. You are upholding the law and helping prevent reckless ICE overreach. You're also showing care for the community, which is something voters won't forget. I hope Attorney Brad Miller reflects on his behavior and offers an apology to the taxpayers of Pinal for undermining our trust that Kavanaugh stops, and he remembers that he's an attorney for Pinal County and not the federal government. Times such as these call for courage, and I appreciate the board showing that courage in this decision to protect the residents and law enforcement in Pinal County. Thank you from my friend Kristen.
Thank you, Ms. Oliver. Leanne Mendoza.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Leanne Mendoza. I'm a resident here in Florence, Arizona. I am also an Arizona native, lifelong resident. My entire family lives here. We're lifelong residents. As you've noted by my last name, it's Mendoza, not exactly the whitest name in the phone book. My husband is sitting back there. He is a retired law enforcement officer. We have a business of our own now that he is retired here in Florence, Arizona. And I wanted to come to you this morning, and it's with great hesitation that I actually stepped up here to say thank you and give gratitude for the support you have given our law enforcement to work with ICE and the federal agents. I know I can feel the hate coming at me from behind, but I want to express to you this is coming from a very personal place. Unfortunately, I've had an experience where I was assaulted in my own home by an individual who was an illegal alien who had been deported, came back, broke into my home, sexually assaulted me, and then went on to sexually assault a minor that lived in my neighborhood by breaking into her room in the middle of the night and assaulting her. You're going to hear a lot about compassion from people, and I want to tell you the people who are not receiving compassion are people like me, people who have suffered the actual consequences. As a result of what happened to me, I spent years battling suicide, addiction, trying to claw my way back to the life that I feel God had designed me for. By the grace of God, things have gotten better, much better for me in my life, thankfully. But I have received tremendous amount of hate online and even from people in my community because I am supporting law enforcement coming in and getting rid of the individuals who are here preying on the innocent Americans. I don't walk around with the last name of Mendoza with my passport. Neither does my husband. We are not afraid of getting pulled over because we have not committed a crime. So I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you've done. I am so sorry that you've received so much hate from people for standing with law enforcement. My mom always told me the squeaky wheel gets the oil. In this case, I certainly hope you know some of us are not as squeaky, okay? But we do genuinely appreciate everything that you have done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza. Next is, okay. Mr. McCain. Okay, order, please. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, McClure, Board of Supervisors, staff, friends. I'm Barry McCain from the city of Maricopa. First off, I wish to commend Supervisor Miller for his speech in the House of Representatives on a water bill last week. We need this year to be more strategic at our legislative session, and integrity is very important, as well as being compassionate. This is why we must have election reform addressed at this legislative session. Plus, I speak about the cabal in Maricopa's City Council. Too many people wish to go to a public office to make peace with incompetency rather than serve the people. But enlightened people know that the garbage equals garbage. Garbage in equals garbage out. Plus, why I don't have to be polite to elected officials that are being deceitful to the voters and our citizens at the expense of our voters and our citizens. Yet I like to wish to explain how Princeton experts on AI cannot predict human behavior, but can be used for mundane tasks like Microsoft Excel. My second degree is in as a programmer taught me I had to learn artificial intelligence since it's so important. But I'd like to explain that these ICE shootings, if, like I said, the facial recognition being used causes a lot of problem because you cannot predict human behavior. But if an ICE officer was to think that somebody's very dangerous in front of them, they'd be less likely to be cordial with. And it's like, I wanted you to understand that because it's hard being fair, governing the masses, and I appreciate what you do. So, in summarize, I'd like to say that I talk about the cabal in Maricopa City Council because it's cronyism and nepotism. We don't have a supervisor on District 1 because he's too busy trying to please someone that doesn't have 3 college degrees. For example, I mean, February the 5th last year proves that. I don't have to say any more on that. But I want you to understand that there's more to this when we talk about ICE officers, a former SOMOS officer myself. But I'd like for you to know that I'm on your side. I'm on law enforcement. By telling you this, it protects the public as well as my officers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCain. Marie McHugh. Oh, no, does not wish to speak. I'm sorry, did I miss that? I'm sorry. Clarissa Vela.
Hey, y'all. So I'm not sure if you all remember me, but I'm pretty sure you do. So my name is Clarissa Vela. I'm with the People First Project. And I wanted to talk with y'all today about the decision that happened at the last Board of Supervisors meeting on the 21st, where Snell and Wilmer came in and let you know that I was absolutely correct, that the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, the Board of Supervisors would be 100% responsible for the cost of Brad Miller's racist agenda. So I did want to bring in the papers. I do have copies of all of the case law. If y'all need it, I'm pretty sure y'all have it. But basically what happened in that, there were some things that were not mentioned by Snell and Wilmer. They did not talk about how the Pinal County taxpayers are on the hook for all of the Kavanaugh stops and other racist items that Brad Miller and even Sheriff Teeple have participated in. And so the Fourth Amendment violations we have written clear. Those are on page 4 of the Snell and Wilmer decision. And I wanted to talk to you about the fact that this month we were going to be having the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors meeting. That was another thing that was brought up in the Snell and Wilmer information about how that would put the Pinal County Board of Supervisors at risk to be under a court appointed monitor, the same way that the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office has been for around 15 years. So I don't really have the time to get in all of that, but it does say here that the board they may take their own actions against Brad Miller and declare it void. I see that you all did reach out to DHS and let them know that the Pinal County Board of Supervisors will not be participating, so I thank you. I appreciate that. If you guys do follow through with that, that'd be great. But your constituents are watching. This is the letter that went out to the Attorney General, Chris Mays. Chris Mays is also the person who had to take over for the Apache County because of what was happening in their location. Just really quickly, though, I had a lot of stuff I wanted to say that I didn't necessarily get into. We will be calling for the disbarment of Brad Miller because, as you saw in the Snell and Wilmer decision, his actions were 100% illegal, and he knew it. And we will be asking for Sheriff Teeple to step down as the Pinal County Sheriff's Officer, as he has also participated in illegal activities that he was fully aware of. He's also made personal attacks on me as a private citizen of the state of Arizona. He's also claimed that he likes his water like he likes his streets full of ice, which means that he's not apolitical as a sheriff as he's supposed to be. Also, really quickly, I just wanted to put it on the record really quickly for that other woman.
Your time is up, Ms.
Okay, just so you know, white people are 55% of the
Your
population.
time is up, please.
But they're 75%
Cut the mic, please.
victim crimes. So, yeah.
Thank you. Shameen Hawes.
Good morning, everybody. I am Shaman Hawes. I know it's not the most usual name, but Shaman is my name. I wanted to start off thanking Mr. McClure for holding the State of the County address, which I was able to attend this last week. Found it very informative. Learned a lot of things that I didn't particularly know before. And I did just want to express 2 areas of concern from that meeting. One is that I really experienced the sin of envy driving to the Saddlebrook West Clubhouse because of all of the lovely medians, how beautifully landscaped and maintained they are, in contrast with San Manuel's McNabb Parkway, which has become a paved moonscape. I just wish that we could have some of that beauty back in San Manuel that they can afford at Saddlebrook. And I was also wondering about the decision to hold the meeting there at the theater, at the clubhouse, and wondered if we were paying rent for that visit, and why we didn't maybe have that meeting in a public building, or maybe even at the community center in San Manuel, where I've been banned from entering there. But anyway, I do appreciate what I learned there. And the other concern that I wanted to mention was the general manager, I believe it was, his presentation at the beginning of the meeting was entirely AI-generated images, which I found very offensive. And I wish that our county was not using AI to generate reports, even if they are just images. I don't think it's appropriate. Okay, so I also wanted to recognize Kenneth White from the county. He's General Manager of Special Projects, I believe is his title. I saw him out there this morning with a crew out there in San Manuel, checking out the medians and looking at what they might be able to do in terms of upgrading that area. And I wondered if that might fall into line with the CDBG grant application ideas that we previously submitted. I noticed that the applications were due February 2nd. I'm not sure what that means exactly in terms of the board having decided which of those issues they were going to submit, but I would be very interested in hearing follow-up on that. So I'll leave this again for your records, and the latest edition of the Forum newspaper, which I produce in San Manuel, and which has a lovely summary inside from Oracle resident Craig Anderson of the State of the County address, which again, appreciated very much. So thank you for your time, and I will wish you all a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Hawes. Good catch, huh? Yeah. Okay. Just to address that, since I was called out there, we don't pay rent on that theater, Ms. Hawes. They allow us to use that, and that is a private community, unlike being a public community where they pay $2,300 or $2,400 a month per home to maintain their area. So, as well as golf courses. And Mr. Liu's, just as a comment, Mr. Liu's reports are not AI generated; they were merely videotaped.
Is everybody done?
I'm sorry. You know what? I jumped ahead, but I'm still saying what I said. Are there any others in the audience that wish to address the board? Ms. Podasky, we'll go there first. I saw your hand first.
I'm Dia Podasky, and I live in unincorporated Pinal County near Lost Dutchman State Park. And I don't have anything prepared because if it was going really long, I wasn't going to talk. But it's not going that long, so I am going to talk. And I'm going to talk about voting and my marriage of 58 years. 58 years. I got married when I was 10. I want you to know that. But I have been married for 58 years, and in that marriage, I have learned that it's really common for people to attribute their motives to other people. So when my husband finds, I can be annoying. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I can be annoying. And when I annoy my husband, he usually says, what is annoying about me is what is annoying about him, and not what is annoying about me, because we do that. We attribute to others our own motives. I have voted in over 1,000 elections in my life, over 1,000. I vote in every election. I vote in primaries, I vote for school boards, I vote for pools, I vote for libraries, I vote for recalls. If there is an election, I vote. And I have problems with things to do with elections, but until 2020, and mostly right here in this room, I had never once doubted that my vote was secure and that the voting process itself was above board and not being manipulated, and no one was cheating, and the elections weren't cheated. And I go back to attribution. I thought, why do people think this? And I have some answers. And they deal with the concept of nationalizing elections. I think people that would sway an election thinks others would sway it. I'm concerned that Arizona will be one of those 15 states. I'm concerned about unredacted voting lists. I'm concerned about gerrymandering not related to a census. And I'm concerned about the change in when a vote is postmarked. And I think that is because it answers my question. Well, I never thought there was anything wrong because I would not cheat on an election. Anyway, I have the utmost confidence in Pinal County and our county recorder, and I think everybody should feel safe and secure, but I think we're going to have to watch out because I think these things are coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Podasky. Next. Well, lady, did you, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but did you want to speak?
Yeah, I did say no, but I'd like to know.
I can let you go backwards and say yes.
Thank you. My name's Marie. I'm from Maricopa County, and I just wanted to say thank you for what happened the last session about the 287G agreement. We just need to keep moving forward on that because I understand Brad Miller's trying to push back against that, and you already know our stance on that. I do want to just state two things, that Caucasians are 61% of the population, but they are 75% of the perpetrators of domestic violence, violent crimes such as sexual violence. And 5% of undocumented persons have a history of violent crimes, with 2% of that being sexual or domestic violence. So what I'm just wanted to bring that to your attention to make sure that you know where we stand on this, and that as far as everything that's going forward with Brad Miller, that we stand our ground and do everything possible to, I'd like to get the 287G agreement eliminated, all forms of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McHugh. From the back, please. Come on up. Come on down. For those of you that know Price is Right, that's my, homage to Price. Come on down. So go ahead.
I apologize for the attire. I didn't plan on speaking. My name is Tammy Wenta. I'm from up in the Santan Valley town. And I appreciate you guys letting me speak today. I just had to come up and speak because after everything that I've heard today, I just wanted to state that I am from Southwest Kansas, and I grew up around a lot of meat packing plants where we had a lot of illegals. And we had our own problems back then, mostly taking jobs away from a lot of the locals because they worked for cheaper, and they would clock in 2 or 3 different times, get 2 or 3 different paychecks to each person. But that's not the problems I'm having as much down here. I've been in Santan Valley since 2001, and I have raised 3 children, one still being in high school. And my problem is the dangers and how I have to worry all the time about my kids being outside and whether they're going to get snatched up or whether, I have to carry because I don't know what's going to happen to me. And I appreciate, I'm not in any way or shape or form backing the Brad Miller thing. I have no opinion on that at the moment because I'm not informed enough to speak on that. But as far as Sheriff People and our Sheriff's Department, they are fantastic. And we live in one of the luckiest counties in the United States. And following Lamb was also wonderful. Sheriff People is wonderful. I feel much safer in Pinal County than anywhere else in this state, to be quite honest. And I just wanted to say that I appreciate them and I appreciate you guys and looking out for us. And I hope that we continue to back the ICE because if you're not here legally, and just, I know I'm white, but my stepdad is Mexican. His family came over from Mexico legally. My step family is all Mexican, so I'm not racist in any way. And I support that. And if you do it the right way, I support that. But when we come illegally, we don't know how to find these people who do these crimes. And I don't care how low the crimes are. If it's over 0%, it's a problem. And I do have a problem with it. Nobody deserves that. I don't care how many percentage of sexual assaults or kids being kidnapped and trafficked and all the drugs. And I have one in college that I have to worry about all the time, the fentanyl. And so anyways, I appreciate you. I know my time's almost up, but I just wanted to say thank you. And thank you to Ross Teeble.
Thank you, Ms. Wenta. Others that wish to speak? Others that wish to speak? Mr. Rack.
I'm Noel Reck from Eloy. First, I want to commend the county on agenda items O, public housing improvements, P, educator professional development, Q, emergency response training, and R, reentry and substance abuse treatment. Next, I fully support your decision to file a civil suit against the power grab from County Attorney Miller, a decision that highlights the board's authority, clarifies the role of the county attorney's office, brings forward concerns regarding costs and liabilities, and amplifies the voices of the many constituents who spoke during call to the public about the county attorney, DHS, and an out-of-control ICE. With that in mind, I would hope that a large part of your decision came from your hearts, seeing ICE tactics as just plain wrong. Aiding unsuitably hired, poorly trained, masked, militarized roving patrols in unmarked vehicles with no proper IDs, no body cameras, no code of conduct, with administrative and not judicial arrest warrants, who have been told by Stephen Miller that they have federal immunity is something the county should never do. It should be noted that now, seeing undeniable public opposition, the Trump administration is, quote, recalibrating its approach, unquote, replacing Bovino with $50,000 in a fast food bag Holman, the soon-to-be shelved Gnome ordering up body cameras, and removing 800 ICE agents from Minnesota. How this recalibration pans out remains to be seen. Much more must be done and vigilance maintained. One positive step may be matched with a negative. A case in point, ICE is now using LRAD sonic weapons on protesters, which can cause permanent headaches and hearing loss. Yet with all that, the county has aligned itself with ICE under the 287G agreement between DHS and the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, approved by the board at the last meeting. An agreement that allows data sharing and ICE detainers that could well send detainees to camps, prisons, such as that in Texas, where even children are held indeterminately, such as 5-year-old twins currently held there denied bond by an immigration judge because at 5 years of age, they don't have sufficient assets to back the bonds. That's surreal. I have provided you and Clerk Kennedy, for the record, a drawing from one of the twins showing traumatized children behind barbed wire fencing, her scrawled handwriting crying out, "I am 5 years old, let us go." Do we want to be a part of that? ICE's calloused posture is apparently shared by Sheriff Teeple, illustrated by his flippant statement that, quote, "In Pinal, we like our streets like we like our water, with a lot of ice," unquote. A parroted, vitriolic, unprofessional statement unworthy of his position. Based on comment after comment presented before the board at the last two meetings, that is not what the Pinal County wants. I don't know what the board is willing to do or is capable of doing to reverse the approval of the agreement rendered at the last meeting, but I believe that any county collaboration with ICE in its current form is not appropriate and with your direction should come to a halt. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Reck. Any others that wish to speak? Mr. Ellison.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, Supervisors. George Ellison, Gold Canyon. There's no country in the world with open borders. Not Mexico, not Canada, not the Vatican. The left wants open borders to get enough illegal votes to win elections. Now, President Obama took credit for deporting 3 million illegal aliens. 56 illegal aliens died in ICE detention centers under President Obama. The ACLU at the time said that 75% of these illegal aliens did not get due process under President Obama. There was no protest, no media headlines, but when a Republican is president, then the left gets all upset about ICE picking up violent, criminal, illegal aliens. So I have a proposition for the leftists to bridge the gap between their penchant for lawlessness, and normal Americans' respect for the law. Let's make a deal. I'll join you at an ICE protest. I'll hold up a sign that says Orange Man bad. In exchange, you'll sign a contract to house all violent, illegal aliens wanted by ICE. We have to house the criminals somewhere, don't we? You don't want them to go back to their home country, so your house or apartment will do just fine. After we sign the contract, we're going to put up a giant sign with flashing lights over the front doors of all leftist signatories to the contract. It will say violent, illegal alien sanctuary homes. You said these people were your neighbors, so provide them with a room, a bed, clothing, food, and entertainment. And don't act entitled when it comes to bathroom privileges. Violent criminals get to go first. Now, if you are against deporting them and you won't take in a violent illegal alien in your house, then you're in favor of allowing the violent illegal aliens to invade your neighbors. To satisfy your virtue signaling, you don't care if your neighbors are shot, stabbed, murdered, raped, or their children are sexually abused by violent illegal aliens. Cry for the violent criminal illegal aliens? No. Cry for their American victims, children, women, elderly, like Miss Mendoza, her heart-wrenching story today. So when you look in the mirror, what will it say to you if you refuse to house violent illegal aliens? That you are noble and so much more moral than Republicans, or two, that you're a monster for wanting to needlessly inflict harm on your real neighbors, your fellow Americans. It's pathetic. Thank you.
Comments? No, you may not. Okay. Any others that wish to speak? Mr. Rivella. And Ms. Vella, if you continue to disrupt, you will be removed. Okay? Thank you. Mr. Rivella.
Roberto Reveles, resident of Gold Canyon. Mr. Chairman, today the board has a teaching opportunity on truth in Pinal County classrooms and in the Board of Supervisors. This past month, you addressed County Attorney Miller's unlawful 287G ICE agreement, decisively acting that hopefully saves taxpayers money. However, you have not addressed the recently signed but flawed intergovernmental agreement with the Florence Unified School District for school resource officers, an agreement flawed by untruthful and misleading comments to this board and the public by Florence School Board President Roger Beatty. During discussion of the agreement, I asked questions about the protocol for resolving conflicts facing resource officers whose responsibility per the agreement is the safety and security of pupils, teachers, administrators, other occupants of the school. A conflict already occurring on Pinal County school campuses where fear, safety, and security are being fueled by scenes of violent ICE agents and militarized law enforcement. Mr. Beatty boldly replied that the issues I raised had been, in his words, much discussed by the Florence School Board when they approved the agreement. No, the school board did not and could not have discussed in July specific issues that were first raised by me 4 months later at this board's meetings. Moreover, Mr. Beatty's arrogant untruthfulness is laid bare by the undisputed fact, Mr. Chairman, that the school board approved the agreement under the consent agenda. No discussion. Intergovernmental agreements are to be respected, and they must be truthful. In contract law, Arizona State Statute 2044 states that if an agreement is entered into based on untrue, misleading information or material omissions, the agreement may be voided. I ask you to apply that state statute and void the agreement and direct your staff to reschedule this for truthful discussion and approval by the board. Equal justice under the law. And by the way, I have housed several refugees under the universal teachings of Jesus Christ to house the homeless. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Vellis. Okay, Ms. Vella, please stop. Yes. Any others that wish to speak? Hearing none, we'll close the call to the public.
Mr. Chair, my district was called out. I'd just like to just say a quick word, if you don't mind.
Mr. Fidello, go ahead.
Mr. McCain, I'll give you my card again, so that way maybe if you lost the last one, you want to call my office, and I'd be happy to speak with you about the cabal. Thank you.
Anybody else? That's it? Okay, we'll close the public hearing, or the call to the public. I'm going to move on to item number 10, which is public hearing consent items A through C. Public hearing items are statutory notice of proposed public hearing items that are considered routine, non-controversial, or approved recommendations by committees / Office of Authority Boards and Planning and Zoning Commission. So let's see, are there any items A through C here that the board wishes to call? Hearing none. County Manager. Public. Hearing none. May I please get a motion on item 10?
Did you open up the public?
No, I didn't open it. Because that says, I asked if you want to pull it. Okay.
Oh.
It's a consent. There's no. Ms. Kennedy.
The public hearing request was fulfilled when the chairman asked the board if they had questions, then asked county manager, and then the public. And there was no one that raised any questions that wanted to pull either one of the consent items from the public hearing agenda.
So I give him knuckles on that one then? Okay.
Thank you for
I'm doing it right. Okay, just checking. Thank you for the clarification. So may I get a motion on item 10, please?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve item 10 as written.
I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Chairman, I'm sorry. If we can just further confirm, so it's item 10, but it's item 10A through C, the consent.
Yes, thank you.
I'll pull that. I will make a motion to approve item 10A through C as written.
Thank you for the clarification. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
You will second. I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. Thank you. Item 11, regular item. This is the approval, disapproval, discussion, approval, disapproval of renewal, revisions, or termination of the MOU executed September 6, 2023 between the Pinal County Board of Supervisors and Pinal County Recorder for election services previously renewed on February 7, 2024 and February 5, 2025. Ms. Lewis, do you have anything to say here? It says you're the presenter, so I'm calling on you. Nope, you got nothing.
Do we have any?
Ms. Shepard has, she left the building.
Oh, Mary Ellen.
She's supposed to be on this too. But you can come say hi. You know.
Yeah. Chairman, I can ask her questions if Mary, oh, there she is.
Boy, you dodged that one. Okay, here we go. Ms. Shepard, do you have anything to present here on this item since your name is also somewhere in here?
Oh, thank you, Chairman McClure, Vice Chair, 30 members of the board, Mary Ellen Shepard, Deputy County Manager, HR Director. Related to the MOU discussion, we have completed a labor market review of election directors in order to give context to the compensation request contained in the MOU renewal. Data was collected from Maricopa, Pima, and Yavapai counties, since these comparator agencies also represent those who are our primary competitors for talent. Based upon the salary data collected from incumbents in the role and market data collected from county human resources websites, the average salary paid an elections director is $165,667. This value is slightly above the midpoint average for that same role, which is 163,552. Midpoint is that baseline value where someone proficient in the role would expect it to be paid. Pinal County's current market range for elections director is a minimum of $114,000 and a maximum of $193,946, resulting in a midpoint of $154,016. Based upon this review, however, that we just conducted, an increase to that range is supported. If authorized, the new midpoint would be approximately $161,000 at least. So what all this means, and I apologize for all the numbers, but I'm trying to give context. What this means is if we were able to find a qualified candidate proficient in the elections process to fill the role of elections director in Pinal County, we could expect to pay in the $160,000 range. If this MOU is approved, the combined compensation for the recorder and elections director's roles would be $158,000. So with that, if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Are there any questions from the board?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Supervisor Vitiello, go ahead.
Thank you, Mary Ellen, for that presentation. And so it's been, what, 2.5 years that we haven't been able to find somebody qualified for this position, correct? Or roughly?
Roughly.
Roughly. And we've had Miss Lewis over the course of those 2.5 years, roughly, taking care of both sides of the coin there?
Chairman McClure, yes. Supervisor Vitiello, Ms. Lewis has been performing in her elected role of county recorder and has, on behalf of the county, assumed the primary role of elections director.
Okay, so if we went out and found somebody, we'd be paying roughly $158,000, $165,000 approximately, plus such as benefits and everything that goes along with being a county employee, correct?
Chairman McClure, Supervisor Vitiello, that is a fair statement.
Okay, so I'm pulling, the reason why I'm asking all these questions and getting it out straight to the public to make sure is that they understand that we'd be saving over $75,000 by having this added to Mrs. Lewis's current salary, correct?
That is an accurate statement.
So that's why I just wanted that put out there so the public understands that this is a huge tax savings because, like I said, $165,000, $170,000 plus we would be saving if we hired another employee. That's why I just wanted to ask these questions and make sure that I am correct in all those statements.
Chairman McClure, Supervisor Vitiello, yes, as indicated, if we were to be able to hire someone with a skill set and competence to perform the role, I would expect that we would pay ballpark approximately $160,000 for the elections director position alone.
Great. Thank you very much for answering all those questions.
And Ms. Shepard, this is to be able to compensate her for the time that she spends doing elections as well, and obviously her statutory salary from a recorder, but to be able to compensate for the time spent doing the elections job.
Chairman McClure, yes, there is the salary associated to the recorder role set by statute. The MOU seeks compensation for performing the dual role of elections director on behalf of the county.
I believe she's done a very good job. Excellent. Are there any other comments from the board? Very well. May I get a motion, please, on item 11?
Mr. Chair, I would be honored and happy to make a motion for item 11 as written.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion is second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. And with that, the meeting is adjourned. reconsider item 10. 11. Okay, whatever. Item 11. We need to reconsider item 11 for the motion. So, okay.
The dollar amount.
So we need to reconsider the dollar amount. Is that what we're
So no. So for item number 11,
Thank
if
you.
we can get a motion to reconsider item number 11 first.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
May I get a motion, please, to reconsider item 11?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? Hearing none. Now we can reconsider item number 11, which has to do with the dollar amount. Is that correct? No, it doesn't have to do. Can you please state what I'm talking about?
Natasha, can I intervene?
Or Ms. Roberts, that would even be better.
Thank you. If I can just intervene, the way the motion is written, it gave the board options of discussion, approval, disapproval of the renewal, whether going to be any revisions or termination. So if you want to renew the MOU as written, you need to make the motion to do so. So we just want to reconvene and make sure this is properly done and clarified so there's no confusion on it.
So Supervisor Shortcut Vidiello, did you want to do this?
Yes, sir. I will again make a motion to approve the renew the MOU as written.
Oh. You want to move to approve the renewal.
The renewal
of the MOU as written.
Okay, what I said? Okay. So I would like to approve and renew the MOU as written.
Is that pretty close? It kind of gets in there. It's inside the lines. Okay. Uh-oh. But from the other side of the room.
What am I doing wrong?
So just so that I'm clear, so that we can make sure that the minutes are indeed correct. So we are renewing, but we are renewing the new MOU because we have made changes to the previous MOU.
The updated MOU.
That needs to be included in the motion as well.
Was submitted contains the changes in it. So if they are approving that renewal, that covers the changes that are already in there. So that's why I say to approve the renewal of the MOU as written.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a motion for renewal of the MOU as written. There we go. Okay, so I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Now we have a second. Okay, I have a motion, a second. Those in favor of this item, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. Thank you very much. We are now, with no business ahead of us, adjourned.